So this video explains how actually exponential equations can be solved using a logarithm technique. We understand that if we have, let's say, 2 to the power x, which is equal to 4. In solving for x, we should have to express 2 and 4 to have the same base, which is the same as 2 to the power x, and is equal to 2 to the power 2. That will be given as x is equal to 2 since the bases are the same. And we also understand that if we have 3 to the power, let's say, x plus 2, and being equal to, let's say, 27, this is the same as 3 to the power x plus 2, and which is equal to 3 to the power 3. Since the bases are the same, that means the powers are also the same. So have 2 plus x plus 2, which is equal to 3. So in this point, x is given as the -1. And that's how you should get it. And even if we can have, let's say, that is 1 over, let's say, 2, and over to the power x minus 5, and is equal to, let's say, 1 over 4. We understand that using the laws of indices, this is the same as having it as 2 to the power negative 1, and to the power x minus 5, which is equal to 4 to the power -1. So in this case, this is the same as 2 to the power -x plus 5 upon distributing negative as a power there. So which is the same as, we should have to express 4 to have the same base as 2, or have 2 to the power -2. Since the bases are the same, then it means we'll have -x plus 5, which is equal to -2. So have -x, which is equal to -2, -5. So in this case, we'll have x, plus 7. That is the solution. And we also understand that, if we have something about, let's say, x to the power should be 2, which is the same as 25. This can be given as x to the power 2 is equal to 5 to the power 2. Now since the powers are the same, it means bases also be the same, hence x is equal to 5. So that's the knowledge that we have. And we also understand that if we have, let's say, 5 to the power x minus 5, which is the same as, let's say, 1, it is the same as 5 to the power x minus 5 is equal to 5 to the power 0. So in this case, since the bases are the same, we'll have x minus 5 is equal to 0. Then x will be given as 5. So those are the things that we are very familiar with. But now, what if this is the case? Let's say if we have 6 to the power x and are being given as 10. So how do you think we can solve for x at this point? So there is no any possible way we can have to express 6 and 10 to have the same base. So instead, we use logarithm, where we are to introduce log in both sides. So in that case, we'll be having it as, log 6 to the power x, which is equal to log 10. That is. Then in this case, we'll have to bring x as the coefficient. So make sure that you understand about the laws of logarithms at this point. So have x log 6, which is the same as, what is log 10? Log 10 is the same as 1. So in this case, we'll have to divide both sides by log 6. So have 1 over log 6. So with your calculator, you'll be able to have that, either to 2 or 3 decimal place. And how about, let's say, if we have, and that should be, let's say, 2 to the power x minus 5, and which is equal to, let's say, should be 5. So how do you think x can be solved at this point? So there is no any possible way we can have 5 and 2 to have the same base. Instead, we're going to use the log in this case. So have to introduce log in both sides, log 2 to the power x minus 5, which is equal to log 5 at this point. Then we have it as x minus 5, times, and there should be times log 2, which is equal to log 5, like that. Then now we need to distribute, or either we can divide both sides by log 2, or we can distribute log 2 in all cases. So in this case it means we'll have it as x log 2 minus 5 log 2. That will be the same as log 5. By the way, you cannot multiply 5 and 2 here, they are different things. So in this case, we'll transfer this to that side. That will be given as, x log 2, which is equal to log 5 minus 5 log 2. And we'll have to divide both sides by log 2. We'll have it as x is equal to, we'll have log 5 minus 5 log 2 divided by, and that should be log 2. Then with the calculator you express what is that. And let's say if we have something like this. Let's say if we have 3 to the power should be x minus 2, and which is equal to, let's say, 7 to the power x, should be to the power 2x. So how do you think this can be solved if that is the case? Principle remains the same. We'll have to introduce log both sides. That will be given as, log 3 to the power x minus 2, which is the same as, should be log 7 to the power 2x. Then we'll have it as, x minus 2 times log 3, which is the same as, we'll have 2x log and that should be 7. Let me have it that way. We'll have it as log 7. Then we'll have to distribute it after log 3 all over here. That will be given as, x log 3 minus 2 log 3. That will be given as 2x log 7, in that way. Then we'll have to bring those with x together since we're looking for x. So we're going to transfer this to this side. That will be given as negative 2 log 3. That will be equal to 2x log, it should be 7, minus x should be log 3. We'll have that. Then we're going to factor out x. That will be given as negative 2 log 3. That will be given as x 2 log 7, and minus should be log 3, like that. Then we're going to divide both sides by this in order to make x alone. So in that case we'll have it as x is equal to negative 2 log 3, that divide by 2 log 7 minus should be log 3. So with your calculator you can proceed that on. That's how we need to solve for x at that point. And how about, let's say, if we have this, and let's see how we can appreciate that on. So let's say if we have something like, let's say if we have a 6 to the power 5x minus 2, that which is equal, let's say, 2 to the power 6x, and plus, let's say, 3. So how do you think we should have that? So as it stands here, you cannot express 6 and 2 to have the same base. It's impossible. Then the easiest way is to use the log as well. So we have to introduce log both sides. So that is, we have 6 to the power 5x minus 2. That will be equal to, we'll have log 2 to the power 6x plus 3, like that. And in this case, we'll have it as 5x minus 2, like that, times log 6, now which is the same as 6x plus 3, times log 2, like that. Then we'll have to distribute logs in all cases. So in that case we'll have it as 5x log 6 and minus 2 log 6. That will be given as 6x, it has to be log 2, and plus 3, that is log 2, like that. Then we should have to bring those with logs together since we should have to bring those with x together, since we're looking for x. So in this case we have 5x, log 6, and the minus 6x should be log 2. That will be equal to 3 log 2, and the plus, since we are going to transfer this, that will be given as 2 has to be log 6. So how to factor out x? X will be given as 5 log 6 minus 6 log 2, like that, and which is equal to 3 log 2 and plus 2 log 6, like that. Then I'm going to divide both sides by what we have here in order to solve for x. So that will be given as, proceed that. And also try the following at your own time. That is, appreciate how you can have it. Let's say if we have the first case, we have 2 to the power 7x minus 1, which is equal to, we have it as 9 to the power, let's say, 6x plus 2. And let's say if we have 12 to the power negative x minus 1, which is equal to 2 to the power, let's say, x, should be 5x minus 2. And let's say if we can have something about, let's say, 7 to the power negative 2x plus 5, and is equal to about, let's say, 7 has to be something, should be 11 to the power 7x minus 1. How do you think we should have that? And also appreciate this. Let's say if we have 6 to the power, let's say, x minus 2, and that should be times, let's say, 1 over 36, and which is equal to, let's say, 10 to the power negative 2x, and plus it should be 10. And how about this as well? In the preset, let's say if we have 2 to the power 5x minus 2, and that times, let's say, 1 over should be 32, and that should be to the power 2x, and which is equal to, let's say we have it as 19 to the power, let's say, x. So how do you think we can have that? So try to practice those questions and appreciate if you can manage to, wherever you face it difficult, so feel free to say it in the comment section below. Thank you.